Continuing with the same chapter, that is structural organization of animals, today we are going to talk about is the cockroach. Now cockroach, the scientific name of cockroach क्या है? Periplaneta americana, and then you know it belongs to the phylum Arthropoda and class Insecta. Now coming to the external morphology. Cockroach will be divided into three parts. So body is segmented, that means it shows segmentation, and body will be divided into three parts: the head, thorax and the abdomen. और एक जो आर्थ्रोपोड्स का एक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर है, that will be covered by a hard chitinous exoskeleton. और हर एक सेगमेंट में कॉकरोच के जो एक्सोस्केलेटन है उसमें हार्डन्ड प्लेट्स हैं, और इन प्लेट्स को कॉमनली क्या बोलते हैं? जनरली स्क्लेराइट्स. और ये स्क्लेराइट्स, बिकॉज दीज आर प्लेट्स, सो दीज आर जॉइंट by to each other by a thin and flexible arthrodial membrane. अब जो ये स्क्लेराइट्स है जो डॉर्सल साइड पे है, जो डॉर्सल स्क्लेराइट्स हैं उनको टर्गाइट्स बोलते हैं और टर्गम. और जो वेंट्रल है नीचे से जो है ये स्क्लेराइट्स, ये हार्डन प्लेट्स, उनको स्टर्नाइट्स बोलते हैं और स्टर्नम. Head, you must have seen a cockroach, triangular in shape है and lies at the right angles to the body axis. और किसका बना है? 6 segments का. So this is the diagram of the external morphology of the cockroach, where you find is the head here, and the head is going to bear a pair of compound eyes and it's going to bear a pair of antenna. And then the head, at the interior end of the head will be the biting and chewing mouth parts. Then next after the head will be the thorax. The thorax you'll find is divided into 3 parts. You have is the prothorax, you have is the mesothorax and the metathorax. So the prothorax, the dorsal side, that is the tergum of the prothorax, is called as pronotum. और हर एक head is connected to the thorax by the neck with a short extension of the thorax. और हर एक thoracic segment में क्या होगा? एक pair of walking legs दोनों साइड से. So it has 6 legs, 3 from this side and 3 from the other side. So each thoracic segment will bear a pair of walking legs. Or it has 2 pairs of wings, as you can see. जो first pair है that arises from the mesothorax. So जो first pair of wing है that is going to arise from the mesothorax. और जो सेकेंड पेयर है जो यहाँ है, ये जो सेकेंड पेयर हाइंड विंग है दैट इज गोइंग टू अराइज फ्रॉम द मेटाथोरैक्स. और जो ये फर्स्ट पेयर है ऑफ विंग्स है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द 4 विंग्स, और इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज टेगमेना. सो यहाँ पे इट इज लेबल्ड एज टेगमेना. दिस इज द 4 विंग और द टेगमेना. और ये ओपेक हैं और लेदरी हैं. यू मस्ट हैव सीन the cockroach when it is walking, it is covered by these opaque and leathery wings, 4 wings, that is called as tegmenta. And they when the cockroach is at rest. जो ये hind wing है it is transparent and membranous and are used in flight. जो abdomen है दोनों males और females में कितने segments हैं? This is the abdomen, it has 10 segments. और हर एक सेगमेंट के ऊपर जो पार्ट है स्क्लेराइट्स का दैट इज कॉल्ड एज टर्गम. नीचे से वेंट्रल इट इज कॉल्ड एज स्टर्नम, और लैटरली इट विल बी कॉल्ड एज प्लूरल. लेकिन फीमेल्स में थोड़ा जो है द एब्डोमेन विल बी ब्रॉडर. क्यों? क्योंकि जो 7th स्टर्नम है वो बोट शेप्ड होता है, और 8th और 9th sternum के साथ it forms what is called as the brood pouch, जिसमें जो reproductive system के parts हैं वहाँ पे open out करेंगे. लेकिन males में जो है the abdomen is slightly narrow, और उसका जो genital pouch जो है that is going to open at the hind end of the cockroach. Then besides this, जो दोनों sexes में जो है in the 10th segment, it is going to bear a pair of pointed, you can see it here, filamentous jointed structure that is called as anal cerci, and these are sensitive to air currents and sound, low frequency sound. और यहाँ पे ये तो फीमेल है, इन मेल्स जो है 9th sternum में क्या होगा, a pair of short slender unjointed anal styles, and these anal styles are absent in case of females. So that is what we said, that the head capsule bears a pair of compound eyes. और हेड में क्या है, अ पेयर ऑफ एंटेना जो कहाँ से अराइज होंगे, फ्रॉम मेम्ब्रेनस सॉकेट्स, and they are used as receptors for monitoring the environment. You can see that they are almost sweeping the floor while they are walking, so they are checking the environment. So जो anterior end है head का है, what it bears is biting and chewing type of mouth parts. अब माउथ पार्ट्स में क्या क्या है, एक तो लेब्रम है इक्वलेंट टू आवर अपर लिप, साइड में एक पेयर ऑफ मैंडिबल्स हैं जिसपे टीथ है फॉर ग्राइंडिंग द फूड, और उसके साथ ही अ पेयर ऑफ मैक्सिली है एंड द लेबियम दैट इज द लोअर लिप. इन सब चीज़ों के बीच में एक टंग लाइक हाइपोफेरिंग्स होगा. सो दीज आर द डिफरेंट बाथ पार्ट्स, लेब्रम, मैंडिबल्स इक्वलेंट टू आवर टीथ, maxilla, labium that is at the lower side, and a tongue-like hypopharynx. अब जो thorax है, it is divided into 3 parts, as we said, prothorax, mesothorax and metathorax. And each thoracic segment में क्या होगा, a pair of walking legs. As we said just now कि जो first pair of wings है वो कहाँ से arise होंगी, from the mesothorax, और जो second pair है from metathorax. 4 wings जो हैं, that is the first pair of wings, opaque है, these are called as stegmina, dark है और leathery है, और जब the cockroach is at rest, that means it's not flying, तो ये वाले 4 wings is going to cover their body. और जो hind wings हैं, and when the cockroach is flying, then which wings they are using is the hind wings जो transparent है, membranous है, and are used in flight. Abdomen दोनों में, मेल और फीमेल में कितने segments है, 10 segments, और हर एक segment में upper part जो है that is called as sternum, ventral जो part है that is called as sternum, और lateral जो है that is the pleura. अब जो फीमेल्स है उनमें एब्डोमेन आई सेड जस्ट नाउ इज स्लाइटली ब्रॉडर दैन द मेल्स, क्योंकि उसमें जो 7th sternum है, एंड sternum वी सेड इज द लोअर पार्ट, वो बोट शेप्ड है, और टुगेदर विद द 8th and the 9th sternum they form is the brood pouch, और उसमें द फीमेल जेनाइटल ओपनिंग्स होंगे, collateral glands के openings होंगे, and the female gonopore will be present there. Then in males जो genital pouch है that is present at the hind end of the abdomen, और उसमें भी the male gonopore होगा, and it is going to have the gonapophysis that will come to later in this part. दोनों sexes में जो 10th segment है, it bears a pair of jointed filamentous structures which is called as anal cerci, and these are sensitive to air currents and low frequency sound. मेल्स में जो है, मगर एक एडिशनल फीचर है कि 9th sternum में a pair of short slender unjointed anal styles present है, and this is absent in females. So by this we can distinguish the males from the females. In males anal styles are present, but in females they are absent. So these are the head regions. This is the ocellus, this is the compound eye, these are the antenna, these are the mouth parts. Now coming to the mouth parts, हमने upper lip क्या बोला था, labrum है, तो ऊपर जो triangle shaped head के इंटीरियर टिप पे ये लेब्रम होगा, साइड में मैंडिबल्स होंगे, सो दीज आर टीथ लाइक स्ट्रक्चर फॉर ग्राइंडिंग द फूड, एंड साइड्स में ऑल्सो मैक्सिला होगा, एंड दीज आर द मैक्सिलरी palps which are gustatory, that means they can sense food, capture it and push it towards the pre-oral cavity into the mouth. नीचे ventral side में the lower lip क्या है, labium है, and these are the labial palps. So these are the chewing and biting mouth parts of the cockroach. Labrum, upper lip, sides, mandibles and the maxilla, and lower lip is the labium. Now coming to the alimentary canal. The alimentary canal of cockroach can be divided into three regions: the foregut, midgut and hindgut. Both the foregut and the hindgut will be lined internally by cuticle. Now this is the diagram of the alimentary canal of the cockroach. So this foregut में क्या क्या आता है, एक तो माउथ है, माउथ will lead into the pharynx. Pharynx is going to lead into a short tubular esophagus, और esophagus में एक sac like structure है, that is the crop in which food will be stored. The crop is going to lead into gizzard, or gizzard is internally lined, it is very muscular, hard to touch, and it has externally circular muscles. लेकिन भीतर में, because अभी हमने क्या बोला था कि foregut is lined by cuticle, so भीतर में cuticle है, और इसका जो cuticle है highly chitinized है, thick है, और इसमें 6 plate like structures हैं, chitinous structures हैं, which are called as teeth in the interior part of the gizzard. So जो food that the cockroach eats is stored in the crop, and it's grinded into very fine particles by the gizzard. और जो very fine particles जो हैं, well ground food जो है, यहाँ bristles हैं, sieving effect करता है, and that well crushed food will be allowed to enter into the next part, that is the midgut or the mesenteron. So the midgut or the mesenteron is lined by columnar epithelium cells, because this is the place where site for digestion and absorption of food. अब foregut और midgut के junction पे 6 to 8 tubular structures है, which is called as hepatic ceca, and these are believed to help in digestion by secreting digestive juice. Now this mesenteron or the midgut will continue as the hindgut, which I said just now is again lined by cuticle. At the junction of the midgut and the hindgut, yellowish filamentous tubules hai, which are called as Malpighian tubules, and they are excretory in function. The hindgut is differentiated into ileum, then will come is the colon, and the last part is the rectum, and the rectum is going to open to outside by the anus. Besides this, it has a salivary glands, very well developed salivary glands, in which it has a salivary reservoir, and this is the gland with it, and in this reservoir the saliva will be stored. So coming to the foregut, which we said just now is lined by cuticle, और इसमें एक pre-oral cavity है mouth के आगे, and that is surrounded by the mouth parts where food is crushed by the mandibles and mixed with saliva. And the mouth is going to lead into a short tubular pharynx. और जो pharynx है, that is will lead into a narrow tubular passage that is called as the esophagus, अभी जो हमने diagram में देखा है, which opens into a sac-like structure called as crop, used for storing the food. The crop is followed by gizzard, or what we say as proventriculus. Gizzard conical है, muscular है, outer layer किसका बना है, thick circular muscles, और inner it is lined by cuticle. जो ये क्यूटिकल है ये क्या फॉर्म करेगा, 6 हाईली काइटिनाइज्ड प्लेट्स called teeth in the interior region and these are used for grinding the food. और posterior region में क्या है, pads है, cushion pads है जिसमें bristles है. So the gizzard is going to grind the food particles and the bristles will allow only the well crushed food to pass on into the midgut. So next will be the midgut or the mesenteron. The midgut is a narrow tube lined with the glandular columnar epithelium. और इसके junction of the foregut and the midgut क्या present है, 6 to 8 blind tubules which are called as hepatic or gastric caecae which secretes digestive juice. And this is the place where digestion and absorption is going to occur in the cockroach. The last part of the alimentary canal is the hindgut. It's slightly broader than the midgut and it's lined internally by cuticle. At the junction of the midgut and the hindgut is present a ring of 100 to 120 yellow colored filamentous Malpighian tubules and they are excretory in function, so they are going to remove the excretory products from the hemolymph. Hindgut is differentiated into 3 parts, the ileum, colon and the rectum, and the rectum will open out through the anus. So this was about the alimentary canal of cockroach. Now coming to the blood vascular system of cockroach. Open type है, earthworm में हमने closed type देखा था और because it's open type blood vessels are poorly developed और blood चूँकि open type है, blood will come out from the blood vessels into spaces surrounding the organs and ये जो blood filled spaces हैं these are called as hemocoel. और इस hemocoel में क्या present है, visceral organs और इस spaces है which is filled with blood that is the hemocoel, उसमें क्या होगा, hemolymph. अब hemolymph में it is colorless and it will have colorless plasma and hemocytes. हार्ट इसमें जो है एक ट्यूब लाइक स्ट्रक्चर है, डॉर्सली है और हार्ट में 13 funnel shaped chambers है. So heart consists of 13 chambers that is lying mid dorsally और इन chambers के साइड में openings होंगे which are called as ostia. दोनों साइड में openings होंगे which are called as ostia. So जो blood है from sinuses spaces around the visceral organs will enter the heart through these openings that is ostia. और फिर ये ostia बंद होंगे, the heart is going to contract and pump the blood interiorly into the interior aorta. फिर वहाँ से बाहर जाके it is going to go into the head and other sinuses surrounding present in the cockroach. So this is the diagram of the circulatory system. तो अभी हमने बोला कितने chambered heart है, 13 chambered heart है which is funnel shaped and lying mid dorsally, tube like structure है और side में ये bundle of muscles हैं which are called as alary muscles and these funnel shaped chambers are going to have openings on the side which are called as ostia. So when these muscles contract, they pull these chambers apart, जिससे ये जो openings है खुल जाएंगे और blood from the spaces or sinuses will enter the heart. And then these muscles are going to relax, close these openings, that is the ostia, and the blood is going to, the heart is going to contract, pump the blood interiorly into the interior aorta and that is going to open out into the head and by the contraction of the muscles will be pumped into the sinuses here and then again they are going to enter the heart. So this is about the circulatory system. Now coming to the respiratory system. So respiratory system as you are aware क्या है, trachea है जो network of tubes है and these trachea are going to open to outside by spiracles. So there are 10 spiracles on the lateral side of the body. और ये जो thin tube है that is a trachea, इसमें thin branching tubes है that is called as tracheal tubes और जिसमें chitinous rings हैं, that is called as tenidia. And these tubes, that means the tracheal tubes, will subdivide to form the tracheoles. अब ये ट्रैक्यूल्स पूरा भीतर में जाएंगे, किसके? टिश्यूज में जाएंगे, और टिश्यूज के में क्या होगा? बॉडी फ्लूइड होगा, दैट इज द हीमोलिम्फ, और उस ट्रैक्यूल्स के एंड्स में ये थोड़ा अमाउंट ऑफ बॉडी फ्लूइड होगा. और ड्यूरिंग रेस्ट व्हेन द कॉकरोच इज नॉट मूविंग, ये स्पाइरिकल्स खुले रहते हैं और जो एयर है will diffuse into the tissue fluid of the tracheoles. So, and these tracheoles, where they are entering into the tissues, so exchange of gases will occur between the living cells of the cockroach and the body fluid that is present in the tracheoles. वह इस body fluid, tips of the tracheoles में ये body fluid है, इसमें air oxygen dissolve होगा, and then they are going to enter the tissues. And the openings of the spiracles are regulated. Coming to the excretory system, excretion will occur, as we said, at the junction of the midgut and the hindgut. They are these yellowish filamentous tubules which are called as Malpighian tubules. और ये भीतर में Malpighian tubules will be lined by glandular and ciliated cells. तो ये कहाँ डिप करेंगे? हीमोलिम्फ में. वहाँ से ये ऑब्जॉर्ब करते हैं नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट को, एंड वेयर वी आर दे गोइंग टू टेक इट इनटू, एम्प्टी इट इनटू द एलिमेंट्री canal into the gut. Besides this, so along with the fecal matter, if you see the cockroach, so along with the fecal matter, this nitrogenous waste in the form of uric acid will be eliminated out in the form of a paste. Then besides this, that means besides the presence of Malpighian tubules, इसमें other, in addition it has what we say as fat bodies, nephrocytes and uricose glands, which also helps in excretion. So जो fat body है उसमें different types of cells हैं, मगर कुछ cells are called as urate cells, क्योंकि इसमें क्या store होगा? uric acid and urate granules, और ये कहाँ present होंगे? hemocoel में. अब नेफ्रोसाइट्स क्या हैं? चेन ऑफ सेल्स हैं, जहाँ पे हार्ट वी सेड मिड डॉर्सली है, उसके ऊपर चेन ऑफ सेल्स होंगे इन द पेरिकार्डियल साइनस. जो स्पेस है सराउंडिंग द हार्ट, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज पेरिकार्डियल साइनस. तो इसके ऊपर कौन से होंगे? ये चेन ऑफ सेल्स, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज नेफ्रोसाइट्स. एंड व्हाट आर दे गोइंग टू डू? स्टोर नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट, जो that will be removed by the hemolymph. Besides this, uricose glands are present, जो किसके साथ associated होगा? mushroom glands, which is a part of the male reproductive system. और ये uricose glands क्या store करेंगे? uric acid, और and it will be discharged over the spermatophores. That means packets of sperms which are called as spermatophores, उसके साथ ही ये uric acid भी remove होगा along with the sperms. Now coming to the nervous system. So the central nervous system, similar like we said in the earthworm, एक ऊपर होगा supraesophageal ganglion. Why esophageal? Because it is in the region of the esophagus of the alimentary canal or the brain. Ab these supraesophageal ganglion will be connected to the subesophageal ganglion by two circumesophageal connectives forming a nerve ring. और जो ये supraesophageal ganglion or the brain, that is going to supply fibers, nerve fibers to the antenna, क्योंकि सारे head में structures हैं, eyes हैं, maxillary palps है, maxilla के साथ जो है palps वही, labium के है, associated with the labium, that is the labial palps, etc. और subesophageal ganglion से क्या arise होगा? double nerve cord which passes through the thorax and the abdomen on the ventral side. और इस nerve cord में क्या होगा? ganglia है, 3 in the thorax and 6, total 8 है in the abdomen. The peripheral nervous system किसका बना होगा? Obviously by nerves arising from the central nervous system, and it's going to spread out throughout the body. तो अगर if the head of the cockroach is cut, मतलब अगर head, because most of the body gets its nerve fibers from the peripheral nervous system. Head कहाँ पे? छोटा सा, मतलब हेड में छोटा सा ब्रेन है, but rest of the body is supplied by the peripheral nervous system. So if the head of the body is cut, it will still live for as long as 1 week. So this is the diagram of the nervous system. So यहाँ पे चूंकि esophagus के आसपास है, so this is called as supracerebral ganglion or supraesophageal ganglion, and that will be connected to नीचे यहाँ पे subesophageal ganglion by side में जो है circumesophageal connectives, connecting the supraesophageal ganglion to the subesophageal ganglion, forming what we said as a nerve ring. फिर यहाँ से arise होता है ventral double nerve cord, and this will be having thoracic ganglion 3 and abdominal ganglion 6. And from these ganglion, what is going to arise will be the nerve fibers, which is going to supply to all parts of the body. और यहाँ brain से जो nerve fibers are going to arise will supply to the eyes, labial palps, maxillary palps, etc., or to the antenna, etc. The sense organs, it has receptors for touch which are called as thigmoreceptors. कहाँ पे present है? Antenna पे है, bristles of the legs, bodies, maxillary palps and cerci. Smell कहाँ पे है? On the antenna. Taste के receptors कहाँ पे है? That is palps, maxillary palps or labial palps, labium पे. Receptors for hearing are the anal cerci. Photoreceptors क्या हैं? A pair of compound eyes present on the dorsal surface of the head. Compound eyes है. अब इसमें क्या है? Each eye will have 2000 hexagonal visual units which are called as ommatidia. Plural form में ommatidium, singular में. अब 200 यूनिट्स हैं, 2000 सिंपल आईज हैं. So each is going to receive an image of an object. So with this several ommatidia, a cockroach can receive several images of an object. And what this vision is called as mosaic vision, like a mosaic diagram you make with like pieces of glass, etc. So since the cockroach is going to receive several images, so this vision is called as mosaic vision. तो ये तो ज़्यादा sensitive होगा because इतने सारे units are receiving the input of the image of the object, लेकिन resolution कम होगा, less होगा. तो एक blurred image होगा, sharp image नहीं होगा. But it will be very sensitive, which is needed for nocturnal vision. रात को निकलते हैं, so any movement, any this thing they can detect with the help of these ommatidia, several ommatidia. Reproductive system, dioecious है, sexes separate है, और sexual dimorphism भी दिखाता है. That means we can differentiate the male from the female. अब males में क्या है कि body smaller है, abdomen pointed है, narrow है, and it has a pair of anal styles हैं जो absent है females में. Wings are larger, और जब at rest होता है जो leathery wings है, tegmina है, that is going to extend beyond the hind end हुआ, उसके बाहर भी निकलेगा. लेकिन females में जो the body larger है, abdomen broader है because it has a brood pouch. Anal styles are absent here, which are present in the males, और जो wings है smaller है and will extend to the hind end only. It is not going to go beyond the hind end. Now coming to the male reproductive system. A male reproductive system, as you can see, consists of a pair of testes. So these are the pair of testes here, और उसके बाहर present in the 4th to 8th abdominal segment. So from each testis what is going to arise will be a narrow duct, which is thin duct, which is called as vas deferens, and these two vas deferens is going to unite together and form what is called as the ejaculatory duct. So they are going to, this is the ejaculatory duct, which is going to open to outside by the male gonopore that is situated ventral to the anus. अब इसमें कुछ characteristics glands हैं. One of the characteristic gland is the mushroom gland, और ये मशरूम ग्लैंड में स्मॉल ट्यूब्यूल्स हैं भीतर में और लार्ज ट्यूब्यूल्स हैं बाहर की ओर. इसके पीछे एक और ग्लैंड है, दैट इज द सेमाइनल वेसिकल्स which is used to receive the sperms and store the sperms. और एक और ग्लैंड है, दैट इज द phallic gland है यहाँ पे, और उसका डक्ट will run along with the ejaculatory duct. तो ये किसका डक्ट है? Phallic gland, or it is also called as conglobulate gland, and it is going to open into the brood pouch close to the male gonopore, that is the opening of the male reproductive system, the ejaculatory duct. Now besides this, you are going to have that external, what we call as the external genitalia. तो यहाँ जो genital pouch में जो है कुछ chitinous asymmetrical structures है surrounding the male gonopore. This is the male gonopore here at the end of the abdomen, जिसमें 3 phallomeres होंगे, और what we say as male gonopophysis, that is helps in copulation. अब जो sperms हैं that is stored in the seminal vesicle, हमने यहाँ दिखाया था seminal vesicle, तो that will be received, that will be released from the testes, go via the vas deferens, और यहाँ seminal vesicle में store होगा, तो वहाँ पे it will be glued together into small packets, small bundles, which are called as spermatophores. Or at the time of discharge during copulation, these sperms will be given out in the form of spermatophores or bundles of these sperms. So that's what we said. A pair of testes कहाँ पे? In the 4th and the 8th abdominal segment. और testes से क्या arise होगा? Vas deferens, which unite together form the ejaculatory duct. This is the ejaculatory duct which is going to open out via the male gonopore. और एक कैटास्टिक मशरूम shaped gland है, और the utricular gland है, and that is present near the junction of the vas deferens and the ejaculatory duct. So this is the vas deferens and this is the ejaculatory duct. इसके junction पे है the utricular gland or the mushroom gland, जिसमें 2 types of tubules हैं, small tubules and long tubules. तो male reproductive system में कितने types of glands हैं? एक तो mushroom gland है, एक seminal vesicle है, और एक phallic gland है. Then phallic or conglobulate gland is an accessory gland in the 6th segment and opens out close to the male gonopore. Then external genitalia are some asymmetrical structures, chitinous structures हैं found surrounding the male gonopore at the end of the abdomen, and these are 3 phallomeres, or it is also called as male gonopophysis. Sperm जो है कहाँ पे store होगा? Seminal vesicle में, and here they are glued together in the form of bundles called as spermatophores, which are discharged during copulation. Coming to the female reproductive system, 2 large ovaries हैं, as you can see here. These are the 2 large ovaries present in the 4th, 5th and 6th segment, embedded in the body fat. Each ovary जैसे नजर आता है किसका बना है? 8 ovarian tubules. So these are the 8 ovarian tubules जहाँ पे ova है. This is also called as ovules, and they contain a chain of developing ova. और ये दोनों sides में जो है, these ovarian tubules join करेंगे to form the oviduct. तो यहाँ से भी ये oviduct है, यहाँ से भी oviduct है, and both the oviduct are going to unite together to form the common oviduct or the vagina, and that is going to open out by the female gonopore in this brood chamber. This is the brood chamber here. अब इसमें ग्लैंड्स कौन से होंगे? साइड्स में ये whitish highly branched glands है, which is called as the collateral glands. और यहाँ पे is present a pair of spermatheca, जिसमें the sperms will be stored, which is received from the male cockroach. और यहाँ पे भी जो है female gonopore will be surrounded by chitinous asymmetrical structure which is called as gonopophysis. So this is the genital chamber here where the opening of the female gonopore is there. This is the vestibulum that is will be receiving the sperms during copulation, and this forms the genital pouch in case of female. So that is what we said here. Two large ovaries present in the fourth and fifth segment, or each ovary is made up of a group of 8 ovarian tubules or the ovarioles containing a chain of the developing ova. And the stalk of 8 ovarioles on one side will join to form the oviduct, which unites to form a common median duct that is called as the vagina. The vagina will open by the female gonopore into a boat-shaped genital pouch, which we said earlier, that will be formed by the 7th, 8th and the 9th abdominal sterna. There is a pair of white much-branched collateral glands which join to form a common duct and opens dorsally into the genital pouch. A pair of spermatheca, just now we have seen, is present in the 6th segment which opens into the genital chamber. 3 pairs of plate-like chitinous processes called as gonopophyses are present around the female genital pore, which is going to form the ovipositor. Coming to the fertilization and development. During copulation, you will find जो bundles of sperms बनते हैं seminal vesicles में and which are called as spermatophore, they will be transferred into the female and the sperms will be stored in the spermatheca. अब जो eggs हैं from the ovaries हैं वो pass होंगे किसमें? Female genital chamber में, where they will be fertilized by the sperm that is stored in the spermatheca. अब जो ये 2 collateral glands है, they are going to pour their secretions on the fertilized egg, and ये फिर harden होगा to form a dark reddish ootheca around the egg. So sometimes you must have seen small cases, brown cases embedded, attached to the undersurface of the kitchen, and these are actually the ootheca. Or these ootheca will be dropped in some dark place or glued onto a suitable surface. Now, fertilization and development, and each female will produce how many? 9 to 10 oothecae, and each ootheca will contain how many eggs? 14 to 16. We say जो development है periplanetary Americana में, what it is? Porymetabolous. That means it has slowly develop होगा into an adult, gradual development होगा into an adult through, but it will have a nymphal stage. एक nymph होगा. अब nymphs will look like an adult, खाली उनमें wings नहीं होंगे, and it will grow in size by molting how many times? 13 times to reach to the adult form. और जो next to the last nymphal stage है उसमें क्या होंगे? Wing pads, but only the adult cockroaches have wings. Last part of this, that is the economic importance. Of course, these are pests because they destroy the food, contaminate the food with their excreta, और transmit क्या करते हैं? A variety of bacterial diseases by contaminating the food material. So this was all about the cockroach.